shot in my life.
I would actually really appreciate if you...
Oh my god, why did you do that?
Do what?
We just come from nowhere and give us a shot.
Because I could hear you finishing your video, so I'll crack down as quietly as I could. I would really appreciate...
Finish my video, finish my life. Why is the police here? Do they not know I'm filming a YouTube video? Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video, and hello if you're new here. Welcome to my channel. I've tried a little bit with the backdrop today. I mean, I don't really feel like it's working. I don't have a proper setup in this house for where I film my YouTube videos. You will notice I kind of just move around a lot, but I am trying to settle on like an aesthetic background. I mean, I've tried. So A+ for effort. I know it's not the best, but we'll get there. This will do for today. Let me know your thoughts. Do you like the backdrop? Probably not. Never mind. Today's video is going to be the very long awaited acne scars video. I've been putting off filming this video. I've been talking about it for ages, saying that I was going to film it. I've just been putting off filming it just because I really wanted to make sure that I got it right, and I really wanted to make sure that I'd actually ended the process of dealing with my acne scars before I actually spoke about it. A lot of the time when I was saying I was going to film it, I was kind of in the middle of going through it myself, so I really wanted to just make sure I was close to or at the end of that journey, and I kind of knew what I was talking about, to be honest, before I got on camera and started just waffling. Before we jump into the video, I would really appreciate it if while you're here you would subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and also leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this video, whether you enjoyed this video, whether you want more videos about my acne journey. I do have quite a few already, which I will all leave linked down below in the description. They will all be linked in there, but if there's anything you want a specific video on or any questions that you have, if I can answer them, leave them in the comments down below and I'll do my very best. I do just want to caveat, obviously I say this in all my videos, that when I talk about acne, I'm obviously not a dermatologist, I'm not qualified. I can only speak from my own personal experience and my own personal research and what I know I've done and what other people that I've watched on YouTube or online have done, and that sort of speak. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to jump into the video. So I'm going to start off with a really quick little bit of backstory. Like I say, I do have quite a lot of videos on my acne journey and all of that, and they will all be linked down below, so if you want to go and watch them first, this is kind of the last one or the latest one in that series, if you like. So a little bit of backstory, really randomly, about, hang on, how long ago was it now? 18 months? October, November, December, 12. Yeah, about 18 months ago. It's about 18 months ago now. Really randomly, woke up one morning, was covered in spots. I was like, what's going on there? This is really random. This is really uncalled for, to be honest. Unfair, because I've done nothing to deserve this. Woke up covered in spots, kind of thought, annoying, but it's one of those things, they'll go. Long story short, they never went. They continued to get progressively worse. Anything that I'd done, it didn't treat them, it just made more spots appear. It made me personally not want to wear makeup, not want to do anything. They just wouldn't go, basically. So eventually I realised that I had acne, I had a problem. It wasn't just a few spots here and there. Went to the doctors, got put on Epiduo. I have a full video on Epiduo, which I will leave linked down below, my experience with Epiduo and dealing with it and everything. It was a godsend, to be honest. So like I say, check that video out if you want to know more about Epiduo specifically. But I was on Epiduo for around 6 months, I would say, but my acne did completely clear up after around 2 to 3 months of using Epiduo. I had no acne left, but I was left with awful, horrific scars. A lot of people say, and you've probably heard me say, the worst part about acne is not the specific spots themselves, because spots can heal really quickly. With the right treatment, you can get rid of a spot in a couple of days. What the damage actually is what the spot leaves behind, which is scarring, hyperpigmentation, inflammation, all of those types of things. They take a lot longer to go. So for me personally, the actual active spots wasn't really that big a deal. What was left behind was the stuff that took a lot longer to get rid of. That's a little bit of quick backstory of what happened. There was basically no rhyme or reason to why it happened. Sometimes it just happens, to be honest. So that's what happened. In this video, I just want to go into a little bit about my story of acne scars, what they basically are, why you get them, how you deal with them, how you treat them, how long you can expect them to last, what my current position is with acne scars, and just what kind of products and things I use. That's kind of the gist of what this video is going to be about. So if that will interest you, then just keep watching. I'm going to try and do it in a really methodical order, so let's go. I'm going to start off with what are acne scars. I've just done a quick Google definition to see what the actual technical definition is of an acne scar, and it says, Acne scars are the result of inflammation of acne blemishes. The acne pore swells and a breakdown occurs in the wall of the pore. Some acne blemishes are small and the scars created are shallow and heal quickly. Sometimes the contents of the blemishes spill into the surrounding tissue and cause deeper scars. So effectively what happens is your skin is made up of all these tiny little pores, excess oil, bacteria, makeup, anything gets into those little pores, clogs them up and causes a blemish to form. That blemish can be big, small, red, angry, whatever. Like you will know if you've had spots in the past, they all have a mind of their own, they all have their own personality, they're all different in their own way. But then what happens is that pore swells, and I don't really know what happens after that, but something happens to the pore wall and it effectively creates a scar. So depending on how big the blemish was, it will depend on how deep or how shallow the scar is. That's why some scars can go straight away, some scars can take longer. I don't personally know why some go deeper than others. I don't know. If anyone knows the answer to that, just let me know. But I guess it's just one of those things, like, it's just one of those things. Another thing I wanted to touch on really quickly is, can you prevent acne scarring? So this was something I was Googling quite a lot when I had active acne, because one of my thought processes was, okay, I've got 10 spots, they're all going to leave scars, okay, I've accepted that, but how can I now prevent the 11th spot leaving a scar effectively? Is there something I'm doing that's causing these spots to go and then scar, or is there something I can do going forward to prevent new spots creating new scars? So one thing you definitely don't want to do, you've probably heard this, your mum's probably told you this, everybody's probably told you this, do not pick your spots. Don't pick them, don't pop them, don't squeeze them, don't touch them with your dirty hands. If you're going to touch your face at all, sit with your hands on your face. If you're going to do your skincare, if you're going to apply your makeup, wash your hands before you touch your face. I don't care who you are, your hands are dirty. Everyone's hands are dirty because you're out touching the world and then you touch your face. I cannot stress enough, stop touching your face, stop picking your spots. If you are going to touch your face, wash your hands first. Another thing that I read a lot of was that you need to try and treat the spots as soon as they develop. So that was something that confused me quite a lot, because if I'm not meant to pick at them, if I'm not meant to touch them, what am I meant to do? Obviously, if you are prescribed Epiduo or something, if you're using that every single night, that's going to treat new spots as soon as they come up. But whatever spot treatment that you're using, if it is something that's helping, or it is something that you've been using or been prescribed, anything like that, use it as soon as the spot comes up. Effectively, you're going to try and reverse the spot, if that makes sense. Like if it's at stage, I don't know the stages of a spot, but if it's like halfway through its spot life cycle, you can prevent it from getting worse. You can just treat it straight away, get rid of it, and that will hopefully prevent a little bit of scarring. One thing I also seen quite a lot of, which is really actually unfortunate, is some skin types and some people's skin are just prone to scarring. Unfortunately, I think I am one of those people, because even since my acne journey kind of came to an end, I still do get the odd spot here or there, like I think everybody does, I think that's normal, but if I do get a spot, it does still tend to scar. So I think you can do as much as you can, but I do think a lot of it is just down to genetics effectively in your skin, and I do think unfortunately I am prone to scarring. So I mean, it doesn't last that long, it won't last months and months like my acne scars did, and it's not so bad because there's not 100 of them on my face at once. But if I do get a little pimple or a little spot or anything like that, it will scar, but only maybe for a week or so afterwards. That is unfortunately one of those things that I can't help you with. Maybe a dermatologist can, maybe they can prescribe something that would help your skin be less sensitive. I don't really have the answers in that space, but that's just one thing that you can't help. So if you are doing everything that you possibly can, you've done all the research and you're still getting scars, unfortunately I do think that is your answer. Now, one thing that I wanted to get into, I've been referring to the marks left on your face as acne scars throughout this whole video. However, I say that because that's the most known and the most common way that people refer to basically the leftovers of acne. However, what is quite important to understand is that there is a difference between acne scars and hyperpigmentation. They are two things that acne can leave behind. Once the active acne disappears from your skin, there are two things that the acne can leave behind. Acne scars are a little bit more severe than hyperpigmentation in my personal opinion. Hyperpigmentation is a little bit easier to deal with. So my personal experience, actually what I ended up with was mostly hyperpigmentation and a very, very small amount of actual acne scars. I do just think it's easier to call it all acne scars because I think that's just what everyone's familiar with and that's what everyone expects me to be talking about when I talk about this, but it is actually two very, very different things. So acne scars, there are 3 types of acne scar. I'm gonna get the names because I don't want to butcher them. I'm sure there's more types, to be honest. There's probably a lot of different medical names, but I think the 3 main umbrella types of scars. I've just got the names of them here. So you've got ice pick scars, which are almost like holes. If you imagine an ice pick, that's what the scar looks like in your skin. You've got rolling scars, which just give your skin like an uneven appearance, is what it says here. And then you've got boxcar scars, which are depressions or like craters in the skin, is what it refers to here. So in terms of my personal experience, I never really got a lot of those. I have a couple around my mouth here where the skin is a little bit sunken and a little bit depressed, like it has little kind of dents in the skin, but you can really only see that if I get really up close or if my makeup is looking a little bit cakey in that area. That's where you can see it. So what my main suffering was actually with hyperpigmentation, which is basically red or brown dots on your face. So where the spot disappears and you're left with a red mark or a brown mark or just basically a discoloration in your skin. So that is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Basically your skin has been disrupted. It's got a huge spot on it, you've probably popped it, it's probably bled, and now I don't know why we're surprised that it's left us with a big red mark, because our skin is not meant to be disrupted in that way. So it's left what I would refer to as a scar, but it's not really, it's just a dark mark. However, they are still both very difficult to get rid of. They both do take a long time to get rid of. The treatments might be slightly different, and acne scars, I think that's when you want to start going for more kind of professional treatment, where you might want to go for laser treatment and microneedling and all that type of stuff to really kind of resurface the level of your skin. Whereas hyperpigmentation, you can do a lot of that at home with certain products and certain ingredients. It just takes a really bloody long time, unfortunately. So the definition of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation is that it happens when your skin makes extra melanin after it has been irritated or injured. Melanin is a natural pigment that is responsible for the colour in our skin. So like I say, your skin's been interrupted, it's been damaged, something's came along and disrupted it, so it's left a little bit of a red mark. So for post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, I'm going to talk about that for a little while. This video is really hard to make sure I remember to talk about everything. I'm trying to make it as organised as possible. There's just so much to say. But post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, that will go away on its own. If it's left, it will go away on its own. It will just fade over time. Like I say, your skin resurfaces and it will just go away. But it will take a very, very long time. There's a lot that you can do that will speed up that process and just make it go away a lot quicker, which if you've had acne and you've got it all over your face, that's definitely what you're going to want. You're not going to want to wait and let it just naturally fade on its own. That is the good news. There is a lot you can do at home to fade post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So in my personal experience, like I say, I had my acne probably for 4 months maybe, and then after that it was just dealing with the scarring. So I would say it took my hyperpigmentation, sorry, to actually mostly go, to be like largely content with how many of them had disappeared, probably around 3 to 4 months. And then following on from that, there was still the stragglers holding on for dear life, those red marks that just did not want to leave. So probably an extra couple of months on that. So probably I would say with at-home treatment that you can do yourself, that you can buy yourself and you can use consistently, you can probably start the healing process and largely finish the healing process for hyperpigmentation in 6 months. That's probably how long it took me to be like, this is done. And that's just using things, like I say, that I could get myself and that I could use at home. I didn't go and pay for any special treatment. I didn't pay hundreds of pounds for laser or chemical peels or anything like that. I just really did it on my own. I'm going to move on a little bit now to talk about like ingredients and products and those types of things that you can do and what worked for me. The first thing I do want to mention obviously is Epiduo, which I've already mentioned. So that is prescription. You can't buy that on your own. You do have to get a prescription. However, I will say it's very, very easy to get a prescription for that. All you have to do is basically go to the doctors and tell them you've got spots. They'll give you a prescription straight away. I guess it's strong, but it's not strong to the point where it's like a really serious prescription that they won't give you. So if it is something you're struggling with, make an appointment with your GP. I made an appointment specifically with the dermatologist at my GP. Go and get that if you are struggling with active acne, and it also will help with acne scarring. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. I don't want to go into too much detail on that because like I say, I do have a full video on it. So in general, retinoids are going to be, and retinols, really, really helpful in reducing acne scarring and hyperpigmentation. If you don't want to go and get a prescription strength retinol like Epiduo, you can just buy them off the shelf. You can get ones from the Inky List, La Roche-Posay, The Ordinary, there's loads of different ones you can get for loads of different price ranges, loads of different strengths. Like I say, watch my retinol video if you don't know much about it, because you do want to start on a low strength and work your way up to a high strength. It can cause irritation, redness, dryness of skin, flakiness. So if you want to prevent all of that, start on a low strength and work your way up, build up your tolerance of your skin to work up to a high strength retinol. Do not go straight in at the top strength and use it every single night, because you'll regret it. It won't be cute. Start low, work your way up. Retinol is really just going to help speed up the skin renewal process, get rid of those old, scabby, scarred cells, and give you fresh, new, youthful looking cells at the surface of your skin. Retinol is really big on like anti-aging and getting rid of fine lines, wrinkles, so it's effectively just producing collagen, renewing the skin process, and that's exactly what we want. Retinol is not only good for acne, scars, hyperpigmentation, is good for everything. So like I say, watch my retinol video if you haven't already. But that's one ingredient that I used at home in the form of Epiduo to help with my acne scarring. Another thing that I also used is vitamin C. Again, I have a video on vitamin C, which I will also leave linked down below. That's really great for brightening your skin. So where your skin is dull, you've got hyperpigmentation, you've got dark marks, the vitamin C is really, really going to work to brighten those marks. And trust me, that really does work. Do not underestimate the power of vitamin C. If you get one that's of a really good strength, it really honestly does work. You don't want to mix it with your retinols. So what I would usually do is use retinol on a night and use my vitamin C on a morning. Again, vitamin C can sometimes be a little bit irritating. It can sometimes sting if your skin isn't used to it. So what I would recommend doing is maybe using it 3-4 times a week, using it every other day, building up to using it every single morning. But that is really going to help brighten those dark marks. Another thing I did was I used exfoliants to exfoliate my skin. Get rid of the scarred skin and bring new fresh skin to the surface. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use toners, you can use cleansers. I would use an exfoliating toner. So I would use the Ren glycolic acid toner. Is it glycolic acid? The glow toner. I think it's glycolic acid, the Ren one, you know, the big one that everyone's obsessed with. That worked really, really well. I used the Paula BHA liquid exfoliant toner. That worked really, really well. The Ole Henriksen dark spot toner. I just kind of mixed and matched and used different exfoliating toners. They have different ingredients in them. So glycolic acid toners are going to work best for skin surface. So where you've got kind of an uneven surface or like texture or anything like that, glycolic acid is really going to work on the surface there to kind of smooth everything out and help combat that. Where you've got kind of more deep-rooted issues such as hyperpigmentation or things that are going deeper into your skin, you're going to want something that is using salicylic acid to really penetrate into the pores and push out all of the rubbish that you don't want in there. But exfoliating toners are really, really great for all that. And again, like I say, make sure you patch test them, make sure you don't mix it with other ingredients. I wouldn't mix that with retinol. Just make sure you're really kind of thinking about what ingredients you're using when. One thing that made me really start to love skincare a lot more is really understanding and knowing why I'm using certain products. For a long time you would just wake up, cleanse, tone, moisturize, because that's what you were told, to cleanse, tone, moisturize. But once you actually know why you're using a product and what ingredients are in a product, it makes the whole thing so much more fun. I might sound like a nerd, but it really does, because you'll know, okay, this is doing this and this is doing this. I should not do those two things together because that's going to cause irritation. And that is really helpful, because if you wake up and you've got irritation and you don't know why, it's sometimes a bit frustrating when you think, well, I use my skincare, like what's going on? Am I allergic? Am I this? But you just, some things just don't mesh together. Some things just don't get on. So make sure you know what ingredients are in what, why you're using them. Make sure you use ingredients for a purpose. It's pointless paying all this money for a product and an ingredient that you don't need. Just buy what you need, use what you need, and make sure you're using it at the right times. I cannot stress that enough. The last product I want to mention, or the last ingredient should I say, is SPF. You've probably heard every skincare or beauty guru or whatever whinge on and on and on about SPF, and that is because it is so important. The sun does the most damage to your skin than anything else you could possibly do. Obviously, living in the UK, there's not a lot of sun, but trust me, the rays are still there. They are still penetrating your skin and causing you to look old, to be honest. So make sure you wear your SPF. The sun does the most damage. The sun obviously darkens your skin, and I mean, I am prone to a tan. I am, but I do wear my SPF. So if you are tanning and you've got full SPF 50 on, then I'm not going to say anything. But Please, please, please wear your SPF, whether you're in the sun or you're not in the sun. Just wear it every single day. I've got myself into the habit where I wake up and I put it on every single day. SPF is so, so important, especially if you have hyperpigmentation, because what does the sun do? It makes your skin darker. What is it going to do to all of your hyperpigmentation and dark marks? It's going to make them darker. So that might not be noticeable when you have a tan, but once the tan goes, the dark marks will still be there. I don't know if this is a myth or what, but some people seem to think the sun fixes your skin, it dries out all your spots. Like, that's not the answer. Trust me, that is not the answer. Do not be going on your sunbed to get rid of spots. The sunbed does not help. All the sunbed does is make your skin worse. It might dry out and get rid of your spots temporarily, but it's not the answer. Trust me. Well, you don't have to trust me, but I'm telling you. That was a whistle stop tour, or maybe not a whistle stop tour. I don't know how long this video is. I feel like I have witted on for a long time sat here. I feel like there's just so much to talk about in this space. Everything I've told you here today has come from either my experience, somebody else I've watched on YouTube, me on Google, researching and just really trying to learn as much as I possibly can. It's not until you're in a situation where you feel like you have to learn that you do, if that makes sense. I was struggling. I didn't know how to get rid of it, so I thought, right, this is it. I'm gonna figure this out myself. So I did a lot of research and kind of fell in love with skincare a lot more, to be honest, and just fell in love with knowing why I use certain products and making sure that I'm looking after my skin in the best way that I possibly can, because you only get one skin and one set of teeth. So brush them as well, because that's not something you can reverse damage on. Thank you so, so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end and listened to me ramble on. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below, and if you have any questions, do leave them down below. I'll try my very best to answer them. And likewise, if you have any other skincare or acne or scarring related videos that you want me to film, be sure to let me know and I will try my very best to film those. While you're here, I would really, really appreciate it if you would also subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!